morning, everyone. God morning, testimony morning. Yeah. Okay. Just want to be transparent with you guys. Be real. I think that as I was writing my testimony, I was getting into my head a lot about it. Because I thought my experience at Arenda was really precious, and I became pretty scared about how I would testify about it, what words I would use, the way I would say everything. Um, but I started thinking to myself about all the experiences I had. I started remembering the joy I felt when I would share with my brothers and sisters about Arenda. And through reflecting, I gained the confidence to speak to all of you guys today. So I'm excited to share my testimony. I unfortunately can't share everything because it's a lot. And I have like limited time, but it's gonna be pretty vulnerable, very honest and raw. And the reason for that is because I experienced God in so many ways by being vulnerable and sharing how I truly felt with my team leaders and my teammates, brothers and sisters on Arenda. So that's gonna be part of my testimony. So I heard about Arenda actually through Nobu, and he directs GPA and he directs some of our camps. And so yeah, I saw him in Korea earlier this year, and Nobu and I pretty tight. He's a really good older brother to me. I love him so much, and yeah. So when I was in Korea, I was talking to him and his wife Rami about whether we would have summer camp or not. I was interested because last winter I had a really good experience. It was one of my favorite camps. And so, yeah, I just wanted to ask them about it. And essentially, Nobu and Rami told me that we would be doing a renda. And when they told me that, I wasn't really planning on going because from some videos I had seen in the past rendas before, it looked really extreme. And yeah, I was scared to go. So I was just like, nah, let me not go. Yeah, but you might be wondering why I decided to go because obviously I did go because yeah, I'm here today. So I decided to go to Arenda after talking to an older sister who had recently gotten blessed, and she also attended the 40-day workshop, the one that Timothy is at right now. Actually, she attended the second 40-day workshop in the U.S. And so yeah, we were talking on the phone, and she was sharing with me about how much love she felt at the blessing, which obviously, like, girl, you just got blessed. I would be so happy too if I got blessed. But she was also sharing very passionately about how she felt God, Heavenly Parent, at the 40-day workshop. And when we were calling, I could just hear the genuineness and the spirit in her voice about how she felt God deeply. And even when we ended the call, I couldn't shake off the way she was describing that workshop, the way she described her God experience. And it was really profound. And I think it was something I wanted to experience too in my life. I love God so much, and I can say that God is really at the center of my life. I truly always want to grow with God, but at this time in my life, it was around late April. I didn't think I had an actual like big God experience in my life yet. I felt God in small ways day to day, but I think that it was a pretty big desire of mine to experience God in like a big way and to really feel Him. And so I think at this current moment of my life in faith, it's maybe something I needed. It was some reassurance to just experience God. And I think that I was also just growing in my faith and understanding Jesus, particularly. But I'll get into that in a bit later. But yeah, so going into Renda, I just want to really feel God and connect to God, which actually, those who know, those who were on my team, know that my internal goal for fundraising was to feel God and connect to God. And yeah, that goal just came through a lot during Arenda, which is so crazy. I'm actually still in shock from everything I experienced. It was really transformational. And I even shared this at the youth assembly earlier this week that I think an environment like Arenda is really what True Mother wants the whole world to feel. She wants everyone, all 8 billion people, to feel and experience God. And so, yeah, I'm grateful that I was able to feel that during Arenda. And yeah, so I just wanted to talk about briefly about my fundraising portion. I'm limited on time, so I have to hurry. But like going into fundraising, I don't think I was too nervous. I sold flowers with my mom once or twice for some holidays before, so I wasn't completely new to fundraising. But I think that thing that made me nervous the most was that I knew fundraising was spiritual, like, and I felt a lot of responsibility as I fundraised. I think that a lot of the first gen know this actually, and my team leader shared this with us after our first fundraising run. But fundraising isn't only just to help out the church, but there's a lot more behind it. I think Uncle Marcus told me this before Arenda as well. But when you fundraise, you're basically helping people fundraise to make an offering to God. You're helping them out when they go to the spirit world and they see God. They can say, yeah, maybe I wasn't able to attend true parents in my life on earth, but at least I bought a poster from those Aranda kids. And so, yeah, my team leader explained it like we were the middleman, the bridge between God and that person. And after he said that, I was really invested. I tried to put my all into fundraising, and I legit would go like, please, if you can't buy a poster, could you donate like some coins, a dime, a penny, anything? Like, I would kind of beg them a little bit, uh, and it was, even though sometimes it was tiring, it felt rewarding, and I felt like I was getting the fruits of my labor, knowing that they could see God and say they bought a poster or say they donated like a penny or something. Um, yeah, and a lot of the times it was fun too. There were a lot of funny things that happened. We got kicked out of Menards. We got kicked out of Target. It was crazy, and I think I could really get close to my teammates, which I'm so grateful for. And I feel like fundraising wasn't only a way to help people make an offering to God, but it also helped me be open to God's perspective, which it was crazy. Yeah. And so this really transformed my heart when I was off the front line. So fundraising transformed me off the front line too. Yeah. I felt like because of this foundation that we set through fundraising, I was able to hear God's voice clearly during Arenda, and I was able to see God in little things without even thinking about it. And I'll give a really short example out of the couple experiences I had. Yeah, so this story didn't happen on the front line actually, or while in the van. I had a few experience or a few ways I saw God in the van actually, but you guys have to ask me sometime later because I don't have time to share everything. But yeah, this is gonna sound really random, but it was one of the first ways I could see through God's viewpoint on Arenda. So I don't know if you guys know this about me. Probably not, but I'm pretty like germophobic. Like I hate it when people get sick, if things are unsanitary, if someone coughs without covering their mouth, stuff like that. So at Arenda, while we camped, we went to a couple campsites. Everything was really fun. But there is one thing that bothered me, and it was that Youngju was pretty sick. Yeah, really sick actually. Asked her if she was okay to share this, so it's good. Yeah, but thanks Youngju. Yeah, Youngju was coughing a lot. She lost her voice and everything, and she was just coughing throughout the night, all night long. And there were 5 sisters in total on our team, and 3 of them stayed in the tent together. And so it just happened to be me and Youngju in the tent together. So I was right next to her as this girl coughs all night long. And you know, because of this germiness I have, you would think and I would think too that it would bother me a lot. But Youngju being sick didn't bother me that much, and I felt a lot of peace when, yeah, I was there. Um, and when we were at the campsite, yeah, despite her sickness. And so I saw God in this example because I saw how God gave me peace. Realizing that the growth doesn't only, oh, whoops. Yeah, I saw that God gave me a lot of peace. And he kind of like transformed the way I see things. Yeah. And so that was like a small example of how I saw God with Youngju being sick, uh, and kind of changing my mindset on things. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many things I want to share, but I think that the thing that made me feel God the most, that made me experience the most breakthrough, was during the activity that we just saw, coming back to God. Um, yeah, as Jenny explained, coming back to God is where like you choose someone to be like to represent God in your life, and they'll be like at the other side of this field, and then it'll be you on the end, and in the middle there'll be your three fears, people to represent your three fears. Yeah, and I don't think Jenny explained this actually, but the three fears, they fight you physically. So the activity is external and internal as well. And this coming back to God activity really affected me in a lot of ways. Um, I really felt God. Uh, yeah, yeah. Um, so I think that the way I did feel God the most was actually through the three fears in my life. And one of the big fears actually of mine was that everything that I've been feeling, my whole relationship with God, all these things was not real. It wasn't genuine. It wasn't true. That was a big fear of mine. And so I chose like the three staff to represent my three fears. And one of my team leaders, Nana, was very accurate in screaming my fears. She was like, "You're an antichrist. Like, nothing's real." Like, she was saying all of these things as they fought me, right? And so I had to fight back. And something that Nana said, like as being a fear, was she said that Jesus failed you. And yeah, I just like as we were like fighting through the fears, I just stopped when she said that. I started wailing so much. Like I started crying a lot. Um, yeah, I think that that thing that she said struck out to me because in these past 3 months, I've been really trying to feel Jesus, learn about Jesus, and experience Him. And yeah, when she said that, I couldn't. I just started crying. Yeah, and I also got stronger though. I fought through the fears, and I really, yeah, tried hard to get past them. Um, I'm still reflecting a lot, and still trying to see how all those feelings come together. But yeah, I'm so grateful for coming back to God. And something I also learned during that time was you choose someone to represent God, right? So they're at the other side of the field, and then there's you. And so I chose Nobu to represent God for me. And I realized that as I was fighting, I couldn't hear Nobu that well. I couldn't hear him, what he was saying. And he was saying good things, things that represent God. So he was like, "I love you, Claire. Like, you love me," things like that, in a representation of God, right? And so I realized that even though the fears were really loud, it was hard to hear Nobu. He never left, and he always kept speaking to me, no matter what. And so, yeah, I feel like in my life right now, even though I have to fight a lot of my fears, and it's really hard sometimes, God will never leave me, and He's always there speaking to me. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if this testimony was one of my best. There was just so much I wanted to say, and it was hard. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being with me during this journey. I want to bring the Renda Spirit back to Ohio because I felt so much love, so much of God's love. Um, yeah. There's so much I grew in, and I wish I could like give you guys a whole sermon on it. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for your honest sharing, Claire. And now for our next testimony, I'd like to welcome up Youngju.
Hi guys. Hello. So me personally, I really like Dorenda, but before going, I think I was pretty nervous, and it was actually really different from what I expected, because I thought fundraising would be the whole 2 weeks. I didn't get the memo, so it was definitely a really big step out of my comfort zone, and like an even bigger step towards finding my faith. Because at the start of the fundraising workshop, we all made like an internal goal and like what we wanted to achieve or like make a step towards. And for me, my internal goal was to find my faith. And throughout the workshop, I would question my faith or my relationship with God. But something that definitely helped me keep like grounded was three things: the people, the environment, and like the morning hundakes. Because for me, the people being put with like other second and third generation really allowed me to see all the different aspects of their faith and like how they found or is like looking for their faith. And for the environment, like for an example, through fundraising, I learned not to like judge people by how they look, like the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Because there's like people who's like tatted up, like with mohawks, they're smoking in the corner, and you're scared to approach them, but you still do, and you're like, hi, I just have a quick question. And they buy like, I don't know, 2 or 3 posters from you. It's like, oh, that's really sweet, they're really nice, you know? So it's like learning to be appreciative of like even like the small things, like being grateful that they listen even if they didn't buy anything or donate anything, and being grateful that they listen. And through those experiences, I really like learned about God's love and how he loves us. Because like even after you're faced with like so much rejection or you couldn't make enough money in that day, like being appreciative that they still took time out of their day to listen to you is definitely like pretty tough, but like a really important thing that I experienced and learned for me. And for the morning hundakes, I enjoyed the morning hundakes because whenever we would read, we would give out our own insights or something we took from the reading. And it was kind of fun and also very interesting to listen to other people's intake on the same words that we read. And for the internal activities that we did, they were also definitely pretty nice because for me, it helped me to be more vulnerable with each other without judgment or any kind of hate, because it like helped me open up about how I feel and learn more about myself. And it really allowed me to fully understand my feelings about my faith and where I currently stand with it. And for external activities, they were really fun because like I've never ziplined or went water rafting before, and it was really nice to be able to do it with these people, and it was really fun, and it was definitely a new and exciting experience for me, and I think it definitely helped us to get closer and understand each other more. So I'm really grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Youngju. Thank you so much. Okay, so who's next? Oh my gosh. Okay, next person for the testimony giving is Ariana Rojas. This is her first testimony. So please welcome her up.
Hello. Before going to Arenda, I was feeling like really nervous, you could say, because I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't really choose to go. My mom just suddenly signed me up without telling me, so I was just like, she was just like, oh, you're going to Arenda. And I was just like, huh? When? And then she's like, now. So I just packed up and I went. But when I arrived at camp, I felt like pretty kind of relieved because I happened to know many of the people there from like previous camps. And then like once everyone arrived, we started like the opening workshop. It was mostly like a get to know each other and introduction to fundraising. And we split off into teams. And I was not really excited to go fundraising because I don't like going up to like random people and like suddenly talking to them and like selling stuff. And it was like completely out of my comfort zone. But I felt like one thing that kept me going through fundraising was like the partners who supported me during that. Cause like I would be like, oh no, you can go first. Like I don't want to approach this person. But then they'll be like, no, you have to go. So they just pushed me and then I just went. But in the end, I felt it wasn't that bad as long as I go with either brothers or sisters, because it like made it more funner, you could say. But after fundraising, was the main portion of the program, adventuring. This part of the program was like my favorite part because I felt like I really got closer to my brothers and sisters throughout like the fun activities we did. My favorite activity was probably going to the beach and meeting like the other team because I felt like it was really cool seeing how that team really got closer just like ours. Like you could see the bonds that they like created and everything, just like our team did. So I felt like it was like really nice to see. And once it was ending, I realized I didn't want to go back home and just wanted that like one more day of adventuring because it was just like so fun. And then I noticed like towards the end, like we were closing with our team, and I realized like in the beginning, our team had like a line dividing us. Like there was like the brother side and like the sister side, you know? And then like we would like never talk to each other. We would like be divided by a line. And then once like morning service was over, we'll be like split up. And then by the end, I realized we had a closing together as a team, and I realized the line would like disappear and we all would like be a family together. So I was like really grateful for like the relationships and the bonds I created during Arenda. And overall, I was really glad to attend this program because I got to get closer with my like brothers and sisters and all the staff there. So yeah, thank you.
She did so good for her first testimony, don't you guys think? And now for the next part, we'll be showing the Project Arenda adventure video. Yes.
Hello world, I'm in Michigan and I'm with my Midwest family. And we are
That's a great promotion. Who wants to send their kids to Orenda again? And now for our second half of testimonies, I'd like to welcome up Cornell.
I don't have anything prepared. Like everything's just coming straight from the heart. But no, good morning. If this morning, yeah. Orenda, it was actually a like really great experience. At first, I heard from Orenda from Precious. She was pressuring me to go. She was like, you need to go. You should go. And I was like, I'd rather stay home, but and then I ended up going since everybody I knew was going. But it really turned out to be, the best decision I could have actually made, not just for me, but alone, like, for my development. You know, like, the opening of, Orenda, it was like, I thought it was going to be the same thing because, I thought as soon as we leave Ohio, like, we'll go straight to fundraising, like, just start sleeping in the vans and whatever. And, it wasn't like that. We only had 3 days of fundraising. My fundraising period, it was really a nice time to, like, relax and, let God, take effect in my life. Because I never really, like, I wouldn't say I didn't believe in God, but I was just there. Like, I was just floating, I wasn't really, like, that hard on it. I would, like, let myself go sometimes. But I felt like, letting God just be there in my life while fundraising, talking to these people, letting God talk through me. And it was really a nice experience, there's some people that I talk to, they'll decline me. And without like, being angry or whatnot, I just smiled and told them to have a great day. And like, I smiled through, the whole entirety of camp because, my internal goal was, to let me experience God like through all these other people. So I felt like I did that, and I also like, opened my mind and opened my heart more to other people, trust other people more, have faith in other people, not just like because, we're all God's children. So it'd be the same, for God to have faith in me and for me to have faith in all of you. So I just felt like, and then throughout the adventuring, it was a nice time to, bond with my brothers and sisters throughout that adventuring time. And, going zip lining, I'm very afraid of heights. So, like, I was extremely scared, but to see, my brothers and sisters go there, I was like, maybe I should give it a try. And then, like, I had a lot of fun. So, I was like, and then whitewater rafting, where were we? We were in the Nigel River, I think, right? If I'm right. Yeah. And, it was, like, extremely scary. Like, I would just rather stay on the boat, than, like, go out there. And, I did fall into the water. And, like, I was actually, like, extremely scared. Like, the most terrified I've ever been. But it was really a good experience, being out there, experiencing nature, what God created, because, what God created was really beautiful. And I feel like all of us, even like how old you are, how young you are, need to take in that love that God, has set out for us, throughout this nature. Even though you can't feel God, like your own self, you can feel God through nature and other people. And that's really great, to see all the love that's being shared in the air, not just from people, but from the nature. Even though you can't hear it or, you experience only once in your life, that'd always be a memory. And, we went to Mackinac Island, the best experience, I've had in a while, actually. And I'm really glad I didn't stay home. I was able to bond with people that, I just know or I just see from summer camps. It's like, everybody here is family from, other communities, other parts of the church we have in this country. They're also family, even though if I haven't seen them in a while. So, yeah, I just, this is my testimony. and I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you, Cornell. And now for our next testimony, we have Steven. Oh my gosh. That picture is so cute. That picture is so cute.
So my experience at like Arenda, like to be honest, I was kind of forced to go, but like I lucky didn't want to go either. I didn't prepare my testimony at all, but like it's cool. Going to Camp Arenda, I feel like I've grown a lot and like learned so much. During like coming to God, I was about to give up, if I'm being honest, but like finishing it, I like spiritually, I like felt lighter, you know, and like I felt so much better. And then like the fundraising part, before fundraising, I was lucky. I couldn't go up to strangers, but like during fundraising, like, cause like my captains pushed me so hard during fundraising, I was kind of forced to go up to people, and then like I don't know, I just grew my confidence like that. I learned a lot from the morning devotions or like morning guidances and like Hunda Caves. I lucky don't know what to say, but like yeah, I learned a lot, grew a lot as a person, grew my confidence a lot during fundraising. This is probably the most open and most vulnerable camp I've been to. Having like some deep talks with like the staff and stuff really helped me like open up, and like the bond with like the team, it felt more like family than like friends. Cause like if I was with like the older brothers, it feels like friends. It feels more like friends, you know. But like feeling the like family bond, you know, it like helped me open up a lot and like be more vulnerable. And then uh yeah, the activities, they were fun. Zip lining, it was fun. I was lucky about to throw up during it. We went to some sand dunes. We went down to like the beach and stuff. They were fun. Connected a lot with like the team. Cooking. We made a fire dish. It was Peruvian dish, but I forgot what it's called. And like some apple crisp. Oh my gosh, it was so good, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I learned a lot, and I lucky don't know what else to say, but that's it.
Thank you for sharing, Stephen. Everything was very honest, sounded very delicious too. And now for our last testimony giver, we'll have Genesis Jagley come back again.
Hey guys, this is the last time I'll be up here, trust me. Let me get my stuff. Okay, all right. What's up, guys? My name is Genesis. I went to Brenda, if you couldn't tell. And I'll just start off with like some beforehand. So I actually really related to everybody's testimony. So like Claire, I did not want to go to Arenda. Like I was thinking about, oh, should I go to Arenda? And at that time, it was only in the East Coast. And I was like, oh, should I go? And then I was like, no, I'm not going to go. And then I hear, oh, there's going to be Midwest Arenda. So I have to go. So yeah. And I'm just going to give some of my biggest takeaways from Arenda because it was literally probably the best camp or experience I've ever been to. And I will totally be going back next year. And okay, so the first thing is probably my life of faith or just my faith in general. And so I think this part for me was pretty challenging. And throughout Arenda, I would hear the word growth, like growth every single day. And I guess I felt like, in a sense, some pressure to grow. And I saw others growing, like truly, visibly, I saw others growing, whether it was somebody trying to talk to someone new or somebody experiencing God, I saw them grow. And For me, I didn't feel much growth at all, so I was kind of nervous. I was like, oh, why am I not growing? Why don't I feel like I'm growing? What's going on? But I think near the end, there was an activity where we would talk to people one-on-one. It was called a flower ceremony. And through that flower ceremony, like a lot of people told me that I was such a considerate person and I was caring. And I guess they told me like I was an amazing sister. And I guess through that, I guess I realized that I was growing. Even though I don't feel like it or I didn't feel like it, I was growing. Like whether it was just being more helpful to other people or trying to push myself out of my comfort zone or even try to include God in what I'm saying, I was growing. And yeah. And one thing about Arenda that I really liked is that every morning service, like they would say something and then throughout the day we would have the opportunity to put that into practice. And so I really want to take that into what I have today and do the same thing here in Ohio at home. So yeah. And then the next thing is vulnerability. And I think I really learned how nice it is to be vulnerable and to be honest with others. And yeah, so my team leader, I don't know if you guys know, Tayo Shibata was one of my team leaders, and he gave a talk on the importance of vulnerability. And it felt like, I really liked it because when I did practice vulnerability with my teammates, I was just like flat out honest with them. And it was really nice because I think a lot of, for me, one issue that I have is like, I really think I have to be profound and I have to have a deep answer. I have to be pleasing others with my answer. I have to impress them. But like on Arenda, I guess I just learned to be like honest, flat out honest, and just share what I think. And to me, that was really, really worth it because I remember being honest and vulnerable with sisters on my team. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, for the whitewater rafting, like, just like Cornell, I was so terrified. I was scared the whole day, praying the whole day. Please, God, like, I don't want to die. I think you can still use me. Like, I think you still need me. Like, I don't want to die. And so I was vulnerable, and I shared that to my team leaders, and then they, and then it got a lot better. And so it was, it was really nice. And I was being vulnerable with just my teammates, my team leaders, and it wasn't one-sided. Like, they were also being vulnerable with me as well. And so I was really appreciative of that because we just grew so much closer and tighter, you know, trauma bonding really through that whitewater rafting, like. And yeah, and another point I have is the growth with my teammates. And yeah, so I was really, really grateful to be able to grow with my teammates, and because we were going through crazy stuff, you know, like we were in this campsite. It was straight primitive. Like I thought we were gonna get sacrificed because there were just flames and torches everywhere, and so we had to sleep in that area. And like Cornell said, we also went ziplining. I'm also so scared of heights, and everybody there was a little scared, so we were all like bonding together. And also, like Ariana said too, at the beginning of the workshop, there was a complete line between brothers and sisters. And then as the time went on, that line started disappearing, and we started growing together, talking together, laughing together. And it truly did feel like a family. And those are my real brothers and sisters. Like, it was so cute. We would be like making food, feeding it to each other. Oh, it was so cute, yeah. And yeah. And the last thing I have is I just really am so grateful for my team leaders. I think I spent a lot of time with my team leaders because when we were sleeping in that primitive campsite, I got bit by 3 mosquitoes on my leg, or my ankle, and my ankle was like swelling. It was huge. And so that was during the fundraising time, so I was not able to go fundraising. So I had to sit out with my team leaders. And so I had the opportunity to talk to them and share how I'm doing internally. And they were just taking care of me. Like, it felt like I was the child and they were my parents. Like, it was so nice. It really felt like a family with my team leaders. And I felt so loved. Every single conversation we had, it was just so nice. And I even practiced vulnerability with them. Like, we went on a 2-hour hike, and I was just talking to my team leader the whole time. And she was just sharing with me, and I was sharing with her. And it really, at the end of it, I realized that she was always going to be there for me when I'm struggling, when I have any hardships. She would always be there for me, and it was so nice. And even the older brothers, they felt like my actual brothers, the team leader brothers. Like, they were cooking for us again. They made some really good steak. So nice. And yeah, they were constantly filling me with God's words every single day as well, like even during the morning service. I think that was something that everybody liked, everybody here, the morning service, because you could practice it. And the team leaders, it felt so relatable because they were kind of the same age. So it really worked. It hit hard, you know? And I think they were really great role models. And my biggest flex from Arenda is that my team leaders actually made me this notebook right here. They made each person, each single member of our team, each 16 of us, they made us all these personalized notebooks. And I'm so grateful for them. And just through this gift, I felt so loved because not only were they staying up till like late at night, having team meetings, and they were so annoyed at us with all of our dumb, random jokes. And even after all that, they still took the time to make us each one of these. And I'm so incredibly grateful for them. I'm so, so grateful for them. And lastly, I'm just grateful for all the experiences I had with each and every member of my team, even if they weren't on my team, like the younger team. I'm so grateful for them. And I'm grateful for these experiences. And I really hope and pray everyone can have an experience like I did on Arenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Genesis, and thank you all who shared your testimony at Arenda. And then now we'll be playing the Project Arenda recap video.
They don't tell you how to become a man. With stars in your eyes, nothing in your hands. Heart's been broken 240 times. A couple from the lovers, the rest of the faults were mine. So don't turn your back, careful what you say, it's hard to take it back. Remember what you learned when you were 3 feet high. Mother told you why, and now it makes you cry. This is growing up, and I find myself again, coming back to play pretend. It's so easy to be young, but I'm changing. This is growing up. This is growing up. I'm changing. This is growing up. Back to the dream we once had. Back to the childhood romance. When we danced all night and my feet didn't move, but the walls they knew you'd be mine. Yeah, I know it's sad. Time is moving on and you can't take it back. Remember what you learned when you were 3 hours late and your dad had to wait 'cause he slept through half of the day. This is growing up, and I find myself again, coming back to play pretend. It's so easy to be young, but I'm changing. This is growing up. This is growing up. This is growing up. And I find myself again, coming back to play pretend. It's so easy to be young, but I'm changing. This is growing up. This is growing up. This is growing up.
Yes, I hope you guys felt like you were with them as well.